Part of the process of the way I approach a painting is I approach it with a lot of questions myself, but I also feel like that the creative process is not done when I'm done and then just for the viewer to consume, but I think it's best when the person living with the painting is also bringing an element of creativity too. So I feel like a painting is more useful to you for the rest of your life if it continues to talk to you rather than you're done in the first 5 minutes with the conversation. It feels almost like sometimes there are paintings I want to paint, sometimes there are paintings that want to be painted. I often, when I see a remarkable sky, it's not my impulse to paint it. For example, if I was painting a sky, the way the knife kind of created a line there, I would not do that, but go ahead and just run with what the chaos has provided. The life, even if it's just minutes before the big thing happens that changes everything, that we could be in the middle of one of those right now. Something can happen within 5 minutes that changes everything in that space that is before or after. Probably a lot more time before than after the big event, but I think that they're worth sitting with too. The amount of work that happens in a life to make a performance feel effortless and natural is amazing. This is a painting about the thing, about not the thing that is happening. These people are backstage. All of thousands of hours that we don't see in order to have this 2 hour of enjoyment. When I'm painting, I'm not like telling a story that exists in multiple frames. I'm kind of examining an aspect of the story. Sometimes I've described it as kind of a mythological autobiography. So there's something that I've experienced or witnessed or been close to. I love food, examining the idea of the memory of food. But there's this part of food that is connected very strongly to nostalgia. When I started studying art, I was mostly interested in ceramics, and so part of the original structure of what I thought of the art that I was working on was its usefulness. When I shifted to painting, I still continued to feel like a painting should be useful, and not just to cover a space on the wall, but that it should be engaging, not unlike a vessel that you use to eat out of every day, should be a beautiful thing that enhances the experience of eating. That the things that we put on our walls they should engage us. We should utilize them. They should help us see ourselves better. One of the reasons that I like to work on so much work at a time is it takes the pressure off an individual piece having to succeed. There are times when what happens is I mix a color of paint for a painting and I end up mixing way too much. So then I'm just looking around the room saying, golly, what's another painting that's kind of flailing that maybe this weird green will make some kind of sense that I would never have come up with sitting down with a piece of paper and making a plan for this piece. I don't demand of the paintings on my wall that they always please me. That I feel like there should be an element of truthfulness and engagement to them. I also like many beautiful things. Beauty is a wonderful way to engage us, but it's not the only way. So this painting, and it doesn't happen every time, but with this painting, I think there was actually a sketch in my sketchbook called Big Dog Treat, and so I thought I want to do a painting of that. There's nothing realistic about a dog this size, and painted this little guy, handing the treat. Why couldn't a dog this size also be blue, The development of paint surfaces, there's just not a shortcut for it. You just have to be there and wait and let the painting take the time that it's going to take. Where do things like that come from, and where do they go? having an experience with a painting where someone also doesn't know everything, I think has a capacity to be very connecting and comforting in a certain way. Yeah, I don't understand all this, and neither does Brian, or neither does the person in this painting. That helps us hurt in a certain way. It helps us rejoice in a certain way. We tell the story to kind of get to the end of the story, but there's the part that gets us there, the maybe even more what we think of as the more boring parts, that there's something there worth celebrating and examining and coming to some affectionate relationship with, that I try to explore in my work often.
And where do they go?